Hi, ladies and gentlemen, fellow traders. Welcome to Charts Engineering Pro. And today we bring to you another episode of Weekly Forex Outlook. And before we jump into today's business, I'm going to do a quick recap of what we shared last week. And I'm going to focus on the ones that actually played out as forecasted. So without wasting much time, let's jump into the charts. So last week we shared this on the Japanese yen index, the yen basket, and we had price around this area, this zone, and price reacted nicely and dropped, which we saw this potential for our crab pattern play out, and price has not yet reached the PRZ, the potential reversal zone, so which means there's more room for price to drop this week. So maybe we can have a slight pullback here and then we sell to complete this crab pattern. So we should look out for a little bit more of buys on the JPY pairs. So on to the next. So last week we shared this on Gbpjpy, and Gbpjpy played out perfectly, even though we're not able to catch it because it moved so fast. And this is where price was around last week, and then we had a very strong bullish confirmation, this bullish engulfing candle, and then a slight retest of the zone, and then price just took off massively to the TP as predicted. Then we had AUDNZD. So last week we anticipated that price was going to react from this zone, give us some reactions from this zone and take off to complete the cipher or shark pattern, but then the zone got violated early during the week, and then price broke above again, made a quick retest, and then bought into our area of interest or the desired target that we were expecting it to go to. Then the banger of the week, which is AUDNZD. So we're able to catch AUDNZD from this point and rode it to the last TP, and it was a very perfect trade. Then we also had FTSE 100 or UK100. So we anticipated that price was going to retest this zone once again, which happened to be the neckline of a possible inverted head and shoulder. So the neckline got retested, there was a rejection, and then a strong bullish engulfing candle, and which drove price all the way up, breaking through the first TP and even clearing the all-time highs. So that's it for what happened last week. So we're going to jump into the business of this week, and before that I would like to look at the economic data or news for the week. So Monday we have a French bank holiday, which is going to affect the euro. On Tuesday we have CAD CPI and USD CPI, which is happening at the same time. So if you are trading any Canadian dollar pair or a USD pair, you have to be on the lookout for some volatility around that period when the news is released. We also have the GBP CPI for GBP CPI on Wednesday, and then we have the core PPI for the USD also on Wednesday, and then on Thursday we have employment change and unemployment rate for the Australian dollar, and then later in the afternoon we have the core retail sales and then retail sales for the US dollar. So there's no high impact news on Friday. So let's jump into the charts and let's see what we have for this week. So last week we predicted that price is going to go bullish a little to approach this area of interest on DXY. So this is the US dollar index, and price actually has made its way to the area of interest where we're expecting it to come to. So we would like to see some reactions from this zone next week and then take some sales from there. If we don't get this reaction and price comes all the way to the top to this level and we get a reaction from this zone, we can take a sell. But we have to take notice that if we get a weekly candle, a weekly bullish candle that closes above this zone, this line, then market structure has shifted to bullish on a weekly perspective. So let's take note of that. So this is for DXY. On to the next. We have EURUSD. So EURUSD is currently giving us something like a bullish flag in an area of interest. So we can possibly have a reaction, a breakout, a retest, and then price buys to the upside, or price can equally drop to this second zone below, get some reaction from here and take off. This bullish movement can only be violated when price breaks below here, price closes below here with a weekly candle or a daily candle and then gives us a retest and drops. Then it means EURUSD now becomes bearish. But until then, we should look for some buys on EURUSD. And also what we can look at for our targets, we can use the fib extension tool. So assuming price reacts from this area, we can, or depending on where price reacts from, we can target the 1.0 TP or the 1.0 fib extension as our TP, right? So we can just target this as our TP for EURUSD. If we are fortunate to get, let's say, a breakout from here and get a retest, and then we target this level for EURUSD. So we have GBPUSD here, and we are looking at a possible reaction or some bullish movement from this zone. So if we're able to get a reversal pattern around this zone, we can go for longs here, and this zone can be violated, and when it gets violated and price breaks below this zone and gets a retest, it means price has now shifted bearish. But until then, GBP USD will be looking for buys, just as the DXY is also going to sell if we get the opportunity. Then we move to gold. I know people love gold, a lot of people love gold, but I personally I barely trade gold, but then I saw something nice on gold and I decided to share today. So as you can see, we have a potential bat pattern developing on gold, and we have X, A, B, C, and a potential D leg that's supposed to form. So we are looking at a possible bat pattern or alt bat pattern on the 4-hour time frame. So that being said, we would look forward to a possible retracement or retest of this zone and get some bullish reactions or bullish confirmations or reversal patterns and take the buys from here to complete either the bat pattern or the alt bat pattern. So I'm very bullish on gold for this week. So let's take note of that. Also, a quick one: if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, kindly click on the subscribe button and click on the notification bell, so anytime we post content on this channel you will be notified. And if you find value in what we share here, kindly like and share with your trader friends or anyone that has interest in stuff like this. I really appreciate you for your time, for taking our time to watch this video, and we promise that we are going to offer you value and that we are going to offer you the best and nothing but the best on this channel. So let's continue. As I discussed, or as I explained earlier, for the Japanese yen index. This is Gbpjpy. Price can just take off from here and then move upwards, or we can have a slight pullback or a deeper pullback into this zone, get a reaction, a reversal pattern, bullish engulfing, or anything that's would give you confirmations to buy, and then we take our buys here and target the zone for Gbpjpy. So we move to Eurocad. So Eurocad is very fascinating. That's one of the favorite pairs I'm looking at this week. So Eurocad played out as an alt-bat pattern on the 4-hour time frame. So this is the alt-bat pattern that played out on Eurocad. This is it. So you have our C leg and you have our D leg. So since this is a potential reversal zone, we are looking out for reversals to the downside, for which this will be our TP1 and our TP2. So let's look out for entries. As you can see, we have a potential inverse head and shoulder. We have a potential head and shoulder developing right at the potential reversal zone, and we know head and shoulders are reversal patterns. So price is giving us something like this. We have the left shoulder, the head, and then the possible or potential right shoulder, which we're anticipating it to drop all the way to the zone, to our TP2. So what we're going to do is that we're going to wait patiently for price to give us a daily candle break. We want a daily candle to break below the zone. Then after, we get a retest of this neckline, and then look for shorts to our TP1, then ultimately get some sales to our TP2. So this is one of the favorite pairs I'm looking at for this. I'm looking out for this week, Eurocad. So I'm bearish on Eurocad, but then the bearishness will only be confirmed if we get a daily candle break below the zone and you have a retest to sell. We go to AUD. AUD currently is also developing something like a harmonic pattern, but then we are yet to see the C leg form. So we have our X, we have our A, we have our B. So we are waiting for the C leg to develop, then we can take our buys from there to complete the D leg. So if we're able to get a reaction from this zone, like an inverse head and shoulder, a bullish engulfing, whichever reversal pattern or reaction we get from this zone, we can take the buys from here to complete this potential Gatly, because we have the B leg retracing from a 61.8%, and then we have this second zone below, which we can also get a reaction from. Then we buy to complete our potential Gatly for EURAUD. It's a similar setup on EURNZD as well. So let's look out for that. So this is for EURNZD. EURNZD is also developing something like a Gatly pattern. So this is the X, the A, the B. We're waiting for a potential C leg. Then we buy to complete this Gatly. So if price drops to this zone and gives us a good reaction to go bullish, we take the buys from here. If it doesn't and breaks below and comes all the way to the second zone, we can look out for our confirmations from here and then take our buys to complete this potential Gatly pattern on EURNZD. Then the banger trade we had for last week, that's AUDNZD. So if you take a critical look at AUDNZD, it is developing something like an inverse head and shoulder, a very huge one. So I would like to plot that out structure wise for us to see. So we have this, and it's also actually developing a bat pattern or an alt bat pattern on a daily time frame. So this is it. We have our left shoulder, we have our head, we have our right shoulder, and then we have our continuation. So if you take a look at this, you can see clearly now, after I plotted it, that you have the left shoulder, the head, and the right shoulder. So that being said, so you can see currently price has broken through cleanly. The price has broken through the neckline of the potential inverse head and shoulder. So on to next week, we would wait patiently for price to retest either this zone or this zone, and then we look for buying opportunities or reversal patterns in any of the two zones, so we can buy and complete either the bat pattern on a daily time frame or the alt bat pattern. So I'm very bullish on AUDNZD. Then on to our last setup for the week, the UK100 or FTSE 100. So last week we got a very nice bullish push from this point, and then you can see price is extremely bullish, and then also price is also developing a potential crab pattern. So we have our X, we have our A, we have our B, C, and a potential D. So if we are fortunate for price to drop all the way to this resistance then support, we can look for our bullish confirmations and take the buys. But price can also just take off from this point. Price can just take off from this point and complete it. So we just have to be patient and see what the market has to offer us. And thank you very much for showing up. Thank you very much for taking our time to watch this video to the end. I don't take that for granted, and I also encourage us to manage our risk properly, calculate our risk, manage our risk. We should avoid catching falling knives. Make sure you get confirmations for your trades before you take action or pull your trigger, and apply proper risk management. That's the best way to stay in the game for long. And I really appreciate you. I wish you a profitable and a fruitful week ahead. So I'll catch you guys later on another episode. Take care. Have a wonderful time. Bye bye.